So I'm reading and I'm reading, and then Robert Adderman, my darling agent, said, I'm sending you a script that I think that you might be interested in, and it was Gilmore Girls, and I started reading it, and it was so funny and so smart, and I'm about 10 pages in, I'm going, this is so much funnier than these sitcoms. Then I turned it to the side, and a sitcom script is like this big, and an hour script is this big. And I went, wait a minute, this can't be a half hour. What is this? And so I became totally intrigued, loved the character, loved the writing, and went in for the audition and worked really hard on that audition. I didn't mess around. I knew that probably that whole scene, I could have put the pages down, but I discovered a secret many years ago, as for you other actors out there, that if I would go in, and even if I knew it, if I put the pages down, that would give the indication that this is my final performance. And I didn't want them to think that, so I'd hold the pages so that they'd know this is part of the process. This is not the finished product. And then I'd be really, really good. And apparently...
But Kelly, when you say you prepared and you worked really hard on it, what does that mean for you? What do you do?
I really work hard on lines. I learn by rote, and of course with Amy's work, we've discussed this many times, there's so many words. That I believe, I think it comes from stage, which is my beginning, obviously, that a playwright works so hard on their play, and they go back and they rewrite and they change a comma and they underline something, or they have, it's all there. It's a little blueprint, and our actor's job is to build the house. So I've always been very serious about looking at the words and listening to the words and really learning the words. And if I miss a word, if you saw my scripts, you'd laugh. I mean, there's a circle, there's an underline, there's an arrow, there's a star, there's all of these things to say, no, take a breath there. And so that's how I work. And I did it all through, we were just talking about it, through Gilmore Girls. Actually, I have to tell you the story. Alexis Bledel, who was, wonderful as Rory. Yeah. She really was, but she was pretty new at acting, and she thank God for her. I mean, she put her. I remember saying to Lauren one day, I said, I just love the way you put your arm around Rory all the time, and because it's just such a good feeling. And she said, well, part of it is so I can get her to her mark.
I feel bad. I feel bad about that because I've told that story, and I'm sure it doesn't give Alexis the credit she deserves.
It doesn't.
But it was the learning curve on that show was just not normal. It's the language, and the way we shot those long scenes with a Steadicam operator, and there's so many things that can go wrong, and some of them have nothing to do with the acting. It's a bird flies, the guy trips or whatever, and so to give that show its feeling of ease and breeziness. You're also kind of like holding your breath, like, please God, let us get this properly to the end of the take. So we're holding on to each other, I would say.
Well, there's that, but the other thing about, and I was a performer for so many years, that I had to learn camera and camera work, and I had to learn that mark on the floor really meant something, because otherwise I was going to be out of focus. And so naturally, Alexis, when she came in, this was all new, and the whole environment is new, and so it's a constant learning curve. And so, no, I'm not putting her down at all, and I thought her work was wonderful, and she was so perfectly cast. You were, Amy worked hard on that, but it really came out so